Look at John chapter 9. And he passed by, he saw a man from birth, and his disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, the man or his parents, that he would be born blind? Jesus answered, it was neither this man's sin nor his parents, but it was so that the works of God might be displayed in him. Because I want to focus on the part where they asked who sinned. And he looks at him, he goes, neither. This is so the works of God would be displayed to him. I don't understand why God is letting me go through this. And I'm going to tell you what Jesus said to him. It's so that God's works will be displayed to you, but not just to you, but through you. Your story is his glory. Your story is his glory. Without your wound, where would your power be? It is your very remorse that makes your low voice tremble into the hearts of men. The very angels themselves cannot persuade the wretched and blundering children on earth, as can one human being broken on the wheels of living. And love's service only the wounded soldiers can serve. Because you will never understand the brokenness of someone else until you have broken yourself. And so now I want to tell you my story. I was born and raised in Miami, like I said. My mom and dad. My mom is white, my dad is black. And see, my parents, this is the blood that flows through me. You guys ready? My parents dated in the 60s, and they were met at the first school ever in Dade County to be integrated. It was so bad that the teachers were told by the higher-ups, the staff, the principals, that if you saw a white person hanging out with a black person, you were to call the white person's family. Because they didn't want it to work. And along comes my mom and dad, and they start dating. And they're dating throughout the 60s. My dad goes off to Vietnam War. They're still dating. They end up getting married. That's the blood that flows through me. A blood that doesn't stop. A blood that fights for the ones who are down. But the reason this is important is because you have to know where you came from to know where you're going. So the one on the left was my best friend. And I use the word was, because I'm going to tell you what happened. Christopher Robinson was completely opposite of me. I played baseball, I played basketball, I loved sports. Sports was me. Christopher Robinson was 0.03 points shy of being a genius. So in other words, he was a genius. He wasn't even 1 point shy. He was a genius. This kid could take this book, read the entire book, and basically tell it to you word for word. That's how smart he was. Why he was my best friend, I have no idea. We were complete opposites. The one thing we had in common was our love for Christ. But I want to tell you about Chris when I first met Chris, right? When I first met Chris, he was this annoying little kid. Just to be honest. And here I was, a 16-year-old in youth group, and along comes this annoying kid. And we're going to Busch Gardens. And he's in the van, and he's like, Shane, I want to hang out with you. I said, no, you're annoying. So he looks at me, he's like, Shane, please. I said, listen, I'll let you do it, as long as you, guess what? Don't annoy me. This kid ends up being the most hilarious kid in the world. We get along, it's great. We're picking on people, he's calling people fat and all this other stuff. We're just laughing and having a grand old time, right? But we were very, 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 very opposite. But Chris went to the same camp that I would do every year. We're driving back from camp, as we're driving back, I fall asleep. I lose control, I pull the car back on, and this is the result of our car. So here's what happens is me, my sister, Chris, and my sister's boyfriend, all three of them were ejected. The car rolls on my leg and breaks my leg. I come out, I'm the only one that's conscious, and I find my sister laying on the ground. And I run to her, and she spits up blood. And all I can say is, oh God, please, no, God, please, please, no. That's all I can say. And I start praying. The ambulance pulls up, And I'm praying in the ambulance. I said, God, if you're up there, then you got to listen to me. Nobody can die. Nobody can die. Less than 12 hours later, I'm sitting at the hospital and telling them this passed. And then sitting next to my sister at her bedside, the doctor continues to tell me how she might not make it. And I just break down. I break down. My story didn't end there. You see, 11 months later, as I'm crying myself to sleep every single night, going off of 1 to 2 hours of sleep, getting up, working 10 hours a day. As I'm doing all of this, I finally go out into the backyard one night and I said, God, I'm done. He's not coming back. This isn't a dream. He's not coming back. She can't change. She's still in pain. She's gone through 7 surgeries. God, all I got was a broken leg. You got to be kidding me. You're not God. God, I've served you. From the day that I was born, I wanted to serve you. At 18, I didn't even want to be a youth pastor, and I became one so that I could serve you. And here I am. I'm serving you at camp. I'm driving back, and you take my best friend. What kind of God are you? What kind of God are you? And now I'm angry at God. And I said, so here's the deal. I'm done. I'm done crying. I'm done caring. I'm done. And I'm done with you. And I go in and I get the best sleep of my life. And I wake up the next morning and I go about my day. I tell you, my life, all I saw was black. That's all I could see. You see, my life was turning out to be this beautiful life. I was 18, 19, 21 years old when the car accident happened. And at 21, I had got a promotion in my job. I bought a new car. Man, life was beautiful. And in one fatal swoop, one mistake, my whole picture was painted black. But maybe you're at a point in your life and you're going, man, I want to end my life. I think the world would be better off without me. I think my parents would be happier if they never had me. I wanted to kill myself. You see, my one mistake cost me what seemed like the world, and it cost all those around me pain. Years ago, I burned those pictures. I didn't know I had a second set. I burnt them because I said, God, I'm done. After I got healed, and one day I was sitting there and this man was speaking and he was standing up in front of somebody and he was showing us a picture of himself and he said, let me tell you something what someone told me. One day you're going to have a platform and a picture is worth 1,000 words. And when those words hit me, I was like, man, God, one day I hope to have a platform. And I want these pictures to show these kids and these people what I went through. Because this is what I heard God say to me.
Bad things happen, but you can still live. You can still live.
My life went on hold. It stopped. I was done. And I wanted to just stop living. Let your story become God's story. If Chris could talk to me now, would he be happy or sad with my life? Because he would have been my biggest cheerleader. He would have been like, yo, you can do this. Don't picture him as a cheerleader. Come on. It's disgusting. Come on. Have some class. But he would have cheered me on and he would have been like, you got this shit. You're all right.